Mhm.
All right, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Better by the Numbers podcast presented by Life Metrics. Here, still at the third annual roundtable of longevity clinics. I have Joanna Benz.
Mhm.
Yeah, the founder of the roundtable, I believe, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
the International Institute of Longevity. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. What brought you into longevity space?
Well, I started about 7 years ago. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist.
Okay.
I'm end user. So I was, for most of my life, I was actually in business. I was looking for a place like a longevity clinic in Europe, and I didn't find it. So 7 years ago, we set up our own clinic. And I met Eric, I met many different people from the longevity field, and I was very, very inspired. My first idea was actually to open a stress clinic because this
Okay.
was something that also didn't exist. So something that deals with stress and also helps the normal individuals to really be able to manage, the impacts of stress on your body. But then somehow I met the first scientists and also some experts in longevity, and I was really, really inspired. So opening my clinic, and by now we have 2 clinics in Europe. I could see that, we are like islands because we have to convince the clients what it is, why to go to a longevity clinic. This was still before Brian Johnson, so people really didn't know
Wow.
much
Yeah.
about longevity.
Yeah.
They were into biohacking, they were into, optimizing themselves. But I think biohacking was very much not really focusing on making it scientifically based.
Got it. Yeah.
Now, actually, in the last 2 to 3 years, you see some of those fields coming very close together, and this is why even on stage we have invited different organizations that are representing different contexts of longevity. So I started with clinics, then I have seen that the sector is very fragmented, and there's different clinics popping up and starting, but
Yeah.
actually we have no unified standards. We have no, everyone is doing something different. So this is where I started International Institute of Longevity, which is the association of clinics. And now we have about 10 founding members, some of the leading clinics in the field. And 3 years ago, we started this event that is, and this is another thing. I am not a scientist, not a doctor.
Right.
Most of the conferences were focusing for me too much on science, and still science on mice, rats, and not really humans. So I was looking really for a conference that is going to be focusing on clinics, what we can do in the longevity clinic today, and what kind of interventions, technologies, biomarkers we can use, and they are ready to, and also not only use, how do we interpret it so that it's medical, that it's easy for clients to understand, and also impactful. So this is where we started this first conference 3 years ago with one day, and now it expanded to 3 days of really, really full agenda of
Right.
very interesting topics that from sleep to then preventive dentistry to body-mind connection, and so not only biomarkers, not only epigenetics, but also all the aspects that are affecting our health, which are many.
Yes, yes. I love what you talked about when you said that you were like an island. You saw so many different professions popping in clinics popping up, and they were basically coming up with the same idea, but for their own profession.
But some of them were more scientifically and medically validated or based, and some of them just doing IVs, and they say also there's longevity. Somebody mentioned there's a hairdresser, and also they talk about longevity. So I think it's just becoming such a buzzword that we really needed to start focusing on bringing together responsible clinics and also showing what should be the standard for the industry. And between Fountain Life and Chi and also Clinic La Prairie and Longevity Center and a few others like Human Longevity, we are trying to be the voice for the industry to see what is regulated, what is not regulated, what is possible, and how to also correlate some of the tests and also interventions.
So how would you define it at this point? Like, now that you've been in it, how long did you say?
7 years.
7 years. How would you define it as opposed to what it's not, and what people think it is?
Well, definitely. I mean, longevity clinic needs a doctor.
Yeah. Okay.
Many centers don't even have
Yeah.
a medical doctor. So I think it's, if this is a clinic, a medical clinic, you have to start with a really proper assessment tests, and then you do personalized interventions. Really something that somebody needs based on their tests, and not what we want to sell them. So I think this is the most important thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like there, I always hear about one of the other guests. He talked about snake oil.
Exactly. There's a
and
lot of
this-
snake oil.
Yeah,
And,
in this space specifically. So like I guess
and there would be, I mean, like in any
you're always gonna have the
industry.
phonies, right?
Yes,
But how do you get your direct messaging out there to, I guess, give people what the clear definition of it is?
This is exactly, I mean, this is exactly the point. We need to have more joint information to the outside world on how do we communicate. What does it mean longevity? What does it mean longevity medicine? Are we about lifespan or health span? And you still see a lot of people talking about lifespan. We are really, the main focus of longevity clinics is really to bring you to the optimal health and to help you to live as long as possible, and to be able to measure any interventions that we are recommending to you. So I think definitely there's a few very interesting movements, like Human Longevity Medical Society, regulating doctors, and so regulating what the medical longevity medicine should be about, and creating protocols. We as clinics, we are presenting best practices and golden standards for the industry. So I think, every year we're going to see more progress. What we need to do is to communicate, to talk more to the public, to present united view as well on what it is, because this conference is here, we think everyone thinks about longevity, but when you talk to people outside, very few people understand what we do.
That's true.
And they still don't know what is possible. They're still surprised with everything that can be done today. And no, we had some amazing speakers like Dean Ornish, for example, that has been on the market for over 30 years, and most of his life he was actually focusing on lifestyle and lifestyle interventions that are now, even he has a number of studies that he's able to present that they're going to be reversing Alzheimer, the first Alzheimer signs. With interventions coming only from lifestyle. So I think this is easy to do. So yeah,
definitely exciting. From the first roundtable to now, what are you seeing in the differences in the space? Like, what are you seeing as an uphill swing?
I think there's definitely more interest. There's definitely more technologies and interesting companies that are doing providing technology, focusing on longevity clinics. There's definitely more international interest. We have a very big delegation from China this time.
Wow.
So there's a lot of interest from also other countries to come and learn what is happening globally in this space, and learn from each other. So I think, we will be every year we will be bringing some new ideas, but I think definitely this year one of the biggest change is the explosion of AI solutions, AI-based solutions. I think this is something that didn't. Last year it was a bit, but this year it is really
it's everywhere.
Very big on our agenda.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing almost every clinic implement AI pretty much in a way. And how do you feel about that? How do you feel? Do you feel
about
it's
AI?
helpful? Yeah. Do you think it's
I will have a panel in a few minutes.
Okay.
About AI. So we all use AI, but I think you shouldn't exaggerate. I mean, I see some people talking more to AI than to their partners or to the AI agent. So I think and also, you shouldn't be asking about everything, because we should also have common sense. But it's definitely helping. I mean, the way AI is interpreting, or the speed of information and the correlation, it's, we can't really, we can do this as humans. I think I have to go back.
That's okay. No problem. That's all right. Joanna, thank you for joining us. That's it for this episode of the Better by the Numbers podcast, hosted by Life Metrics. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for talking to me.